Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Street Court Dave. Today we're going to talk about a new guitar, an old guitar, and something kind of cool. Yes guys, let's kick off the show and talk about this brand new PRS guitar, modeled here by my friend Joe. Of course it is the single cut McCarty 594 from PRS, which is a limited edition Joe Walsh signature. I think I said all that right. Anyway, Joe Walsh, of course, the guitarist from the Eagles. So take it easy while we go through this little blurb here about it. So this is a guitar that apparently Joe Walsh has said is the first guitar that he has taken out of a box, and it's been perfect. So he says he doesn't get excited about new guitars because there's always things to fix. Yeah, Joe, tell me about it. You're buying guitars under $1,000. That's what happens. Never mind the super expensive ones that you get your hands on. But hey, listen, it's fine. He said this is a great guitar out of the box. I'm going to trust him on it. He knows a thing or two about guitars. Just some specs, basically. It's got 5815 LT plus PRS pickups. Those are coil splittable. Now, a lot of this guitar is described as vintage, vintage spec or vintage styled. Coil splitting, not really vintage. But hey, I suppose actually kind of getting there now. Something really cool about this, it has a hand-signed Paul Reed Smith signature on the headstock, you know, where he would usually have the logo printed there. And that's cool because there are only 200 copies of this guitar being made worldwide. And you want to act fast if you do want to get your hands on one of these. You also need to have $6,550. It's got a mahogany body and a mahogany neck, which is cool. It's got a Brazilian rosewood, which obviously is a nice spec to have if you can get it. And it's got a maple cap as well. Now, something that's interesting, the color is described as McCarty Sunburst. That's fine, but also gloss cracking nitro. That is what is described as the finish on the PRS website. Now, where that is interesting is that PRS not known really for using nitro. So in fact, one of my favorite guitar channels on YouTube, Casino Guitars, did a video not too long ago about the different finishes being used by Gibson, Fender, PRS, and they said specifically that it's usually a polyurethane finish, and you know, keeps them looking great over the years, but they don't really use nitro. So this is a bit of a departure from PRS, I think. Maybe you can let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section below. And while you're down there, please do like the video if you think it's been fun. And also, if you could hit that subscribe button, because, you know, that really would help me out. So thank you very much for that. But yeah, this is a cool looking guitar. So look, if you're Joe Walsh from the Eagles and you're offered a signature guitar from PRS, this is as good as it gets, I think. Looks like an awesome guitar, $6,500. Thomann are charging €7,700. So a little bit of a premium there from Thomann, but hey, these are in limited supply. Only 200 of these are going to be made worldwide, as I said. They do have something that I don't understand this. So the neck shape is described as a pattern vintage. So maybe one of you guys out there can tell me what exactly that means, because I have no flipping clue whatsoever. But, you know, Joe Walsh is a very well-respected guitarist. Obviously, the Eagles, one of the biggest bands of all time, whether you love the Eagles or you don't love the Eagles, you know, they're actually California's biggest selling band of all time. But you didn't know that? Actually, if you're watching this channel, you probably did, because everybody who watches this channel is smart and sexy. That's what the YouTube tells me. So. And in other guitar news, we have the opportunity to buy a guitar that is signed by some of the biggest legends in the world of rock and roll. Yes, you can buy this Les Paul Goldtop Deluxe Hall of Fame edition from 1991 that was signed by loads of people at Bob Dylan's 30th anniversary concert way back in the 90s there. And because it was in the 90s, some people who are no longer with us were actually able to sign a guitar, and it's now for sale from Bonhams, who I believe is in London, and they are looking for £10,000 to £15,000 for this one-off guitar. It's signed by the likes of Bob Dylan, George Harrison, Eric Clapton, Paul McCartney, Tom Petty, Stevie Wonder, Willie Nelson. The list goes on and on. It's like Chris Christopherson's in there, Ronnie Wood, who else? Neil Young, Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson. It's just some awesome people there. Now, as you can see as well, you could wipe off all the signatures on this guitar. You would have yourself a 1991 Gibson Deluxe Goldtop with it was the Hall of Fame guitar that came out. And the thing about that is, so obviously you can see it has mini humbuckers, but it also is an all gold finish. So the body and the neck, everything is painted gold, which, as I mentioned in our previous video in the last week or two, the all gold finish, like in the Jared James Nichols Gold Glory, looks fantastic, and it's not done enough. So you want to check out that video, you can check it out up there. And the this guitar, if you want to check it out, is in bonhams.com, and that is 10 to 15,000 pounds. So for us in euros, you're looking at about 17,000, I think, altogether on the top end there. In dollars, I don't know, like 20 or so, 20,000 of course. So listen, it's pretty cool to have all these people signing stuff from back then. I mean, you can't get George Harrison to sign a guitar anymore, unfortunately. So, you know, in years to come, this guitar, I think, is going to be worth a lot of money. And it was played at Bob Dylan's 30th anniversary concert in Madison Square Garden as well. So that adds a little bit of extra coolness to it. This comes from the personal collection of Harvey Goldsmith, who was a well-known concert promoter back in the day. But you might not want to spend 10 to 15,000 pounds. So what do? Well, hey, if you are interested in music at all, they have a lot of cool things. And one of them that I found on the website for this auction, which is coming up next week, is this gold disc for the Led Zeppelin album Physical Graffiti. This is estimated to go between 1,000 and 1,500. So a little bit less than the 10 to 15,000. And this is... This was awarded to the cover designer, Mr. Phil Corriston, and this is a gold record for the LP, the record, and the cassette. So not many of those floating around anymore. There's lots of bands and stuff like that included in this sale. And if you want to own a Led Zeppelin gold record, this might be the best chance you ever get. Am I going to bid for it? No, but hey, there's some cool stuff there. If you do have 10 to 15,000, but you don't fancy this guitar, the Les Paul we showed just a few moments ago, your other option might be, for 10 to 15,000 pounds, a signed by all four members of the Beatles copy of Please Please Me. So that is, I mean, that's a collector's item of the biggest order, I suppose. And there are, of course, other guitars in the auction as well. It's definitely worth checking out bonhams.com, and you can see everything that's for sale there. And that's going to wrap it up for me today, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. It's been a pleasure. Don't forget to hit that like button and the subscribe button. That really helps out the channel. It's been a pleasure. I'll be back at the weekend, and I'll see you then.